Hello, I'm Kevin Lennon, NCAA Vice President of Division I Governance. Thanks for tuning in to the January Council meeting update. First, I'd like to welcome Jim Phillips, Chair of the Division I Council and the Athletics Director at Northwestern University. He'll share his thoughts on the new governance structure and its work to date.
Hi, everyone. The governance structure is 1 year old and is truly high functioning and successful. We've had outstanding representation from throughout the division, great contribution from all our conferences, adding more faculty athletic reps, senior women's administrators, conference office personnel, and student-athlete voices has truly made this a terrific governance structure. There's a commitment to be transparent throughout the communication. This structure is meeting the goal of nimble governance. I think a recent example is the fantasy sports issue with the cease and desist letter from the NCAA and the education that went directly to the membership about the application of the legislation. Division I strategic agenda was approved by the Board of Directors in October. That's a significant moment. It will be shared with the membership, giving a complete picture of where Division I is headed for the next 2 years. Sharing the agenda gives the membership an awareness of when feedback will be sought on major items, as well as when the council, the Committee on Academics, and the Board of Directors anticipates taking action. Student-athlete time demands. There's really not any more critical of an issue than that. Many groups working on this topic, including SAC, Student-Athlete Experience Committee, the Committee on Academics, and the Autonomy Conferences are all coming together to see what works best for our student-athletes. SAC will review survey results and the NCAA goals scores data during its January meeting and provide us an update to the membership during the Division I Issues Forum at the convention. Sincere thanks for your continued feedback on the new governance structure. It will only be as good as we make it together. And I certainly look forward to seeing everybody at the 2016 NCAA convention in San Antonio.
Now let's go into the updates in the Division I governance structure. First, let's begin with the Board of Directors. As you're all aware, the Board of Directors has been asked to take on the strategic role for the Division I governance. They had an opportunity to meet in October, and consistent with their role, they approved a 2-year Division I strategic agenda that will help frame the activities for the Division I membership over the next 2 years. They also received an update from 2 working groups. First, the Value-Based Revenue Distribution Working Group, and secondly, the Sports Organizational Structure Working Group. These groups were generated from the recent NCAA Summit and approved by the Board of Directors, and they have begun their work. Now I'd like to highlight the good work of the Council Coordination Committee. With the direction from the Board of Directors and the Council, the Coordination Committee is finalizing a more detailed timeline for the 2-year strategic agenda. This will begin to outline what the Council will address at all of its meetings through 2016. When this is finalized, this will be shared with the conference commissioners as well as the Division I membership and other key constituents. The Coordination Committee also reviewed and discussed a proposed outline for ways the Division I membership and key constituents can provide timely feedback on issues during the 2-year strategic agenda and beyond. This will be incredibly important as we know many of you have issues that are of great concern to you and you want to have your voice heard. This document will outline exactly how you can provide feedback to be most impactful. The Coordination Committee also reviewed and approved appointments to various Division I committees that came from the Nominating Committee. I'd now like to turn some attention to the Board of Governors. They also met in October and began discussions regarding alcohol policies at championship events and plans to begin discussions regarding sports wagering policies in the future. The governors also approved a one-time distribution to the Division I membership from the Quasi-Endowment Fund. Details of how that money will be dispersed are being finalized. Now, let's hear from Scott Bearby, NCAA General Counsel, for a legal update.
Thanks, Kevin. The O'Bannon case, we continue to wait whether the Ninth Circuit will grant rehearing of that case before that court. If so, there will be a series of briefs and procedures that will occur over the next several weeks. If they don't take rehearing, then the NCAA and the plaintiffs will be considering whether to seek certiorari before the U.S. Supreme Court. We'll keep you posted on developments in that case. Many people are asking about the Jenkins grant and aid case. Judge Wilkin granted an injunctive class for the NCAA to no longer be able to impose financial aid rules at all. This would be an additive of the O'Bannon case. The injunctive class status may be ripe for appeal. We will see whether or not the parties seek that request. So this case has a long way to go. There still is a lot of procedural work to do and discovery work to do. No trial dates or significant hearing dates are set in that case. The NCAA is not involved in direct litigation involving fantasy sports. However, the NCAA and the pro leagues continue to challenge the gambling attempts by the state of New Jersey to legalize gambling. The Third Circuit Court of Appeals will be deciding whether or not New Jersey's efforts were lawful in allowing for sports wagering. But that's not directly related to fantasy sports, the DraftKings, FanDuel type of initiative. There is much litigation filed by states' attorneys general and by private parties challenging fantasy sports and basically contending that fantasy sports and daily fantasy sports are gambling. The NCAA takes a similar position in its bylaws because of the entry fee that's required for daily fantasy sports, as well as the opportunity to earn prizes. We will continue to monitor that and provide updates to the council and to the membership. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. I'd also like to mention the NCAA Division I Presidential Forum, which held its first meeting in October. As you'll recall, the Presidential Forum has been identified as the presidential advisory group to the NCAA Division I Board of Directors. The Presidential Forum identified its initiatives as follows. First, the development of best practices to assist campus presidents and chancellors. And secondly, to identify additional areas of study that can be of assistance to the Board of Directors in its oversight of intercollegiate athletics. It was a very productive and positive first meeting, and I know that the Presidential Forum members are looking forward to providing great contributions to the Division I membership. It's also important to note that the Presidential Forum represents presidents from all of the 32 Division I conferences. Finally, the rosters are available for your review in the meeting materials. Please don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you in San Antonio.